Let's keep talking here about prayer, fasting, and almsgiving. I know in our previous video we mentioned how these are so important because they help foster these three great loves that we experience. Love for God fostered by prayer, love for self fostered by fasting, and love for neighbor fostered by almsgiving. But let's also mention prayer, fasting, and almsgiving, very important too, because they help to fight the three enemies that we face. Very famously, the world, the flesh, and the devil. The world is an enemy as we speak of it because it has all these beautiful, good things in it. But especially in our fallen, sinful state, we can become disordered in how we relate to these goods. We can be attached to these goods in ways that take us away from the Lord, take us away from the one thing necessary, as he calls it in Luke chapter 10, that beautiful, profound interior union with the Lord, that divine intimacy that we have. But we can get so distracted by the things of this world that they take us away from God. Well, the world is going to be combated by almsgiving, by the giving away of these earthly goods, which in themselves may be good, but here by alms, I'm giving them away. And I'm trying to shed myself of some of those attachments to things which can be a distraction from the more important things in life. And then we have the flesh as another enemy. The idea that these carnal bodily appetites that I experience for things like foods and drinks, again, things that in themselves are good and necessary, but I can have such disordered attachments and attractions and inclinations to these foods, to these drinks, and we can worship, as Paul calls it, the God of the belly. Well, fasting is going to attack that, right? By saying no to those carnal bodily goods, right? Within moderation, of course, because we need them to survive, but nonetheless, being able to say no to those fleshly appetites, desires, and so forth will help attack that enemy. And then finally, of course, the devil, who needs no introduction. We have, as St. Peter calls him in his epistles, a roaring lion looking to devour our souls, right? At any time we try and fight that battle by ourselves, of course we'll lose it. But as we turn to God in prayer, right, and express that humble gratitude to the Lord, that will allow us to be equipped for that great spiritual warfare, as we call it. So keep that in mind here. Prayer, fasting, and almsgiving, not just so important to foster our three loves, love for God, love for neighbor, love for self, but also so important to combat the three enemies that we face: the world, the flesh, and the devil. If you want to read, watch, listen to more about the Lenten season, check out our website at sjvlaydivision.org, and I hope you have a blessed Lenten season.